What's up? Welcome to week 3 of the Las Vegas Contest Super Show with 3 of the biggest degenerate gamblers you've probably ever seen in your life. We're fucking down on our luck. Not going to pretend like we haven't sucked for 2 weeks. So if you're actually watching week 3 of this show after the suck we've put on for 2 weeks, kudos to you. It either gets better from here or we cash the nut low contest, which is what, CJ, like 50 grand or something if you're the worst?
100,000, and there's $25,000 each quarter for finishing bottom. So max of 200K if we can really suck.
So, if this suck fest continues, we might be playing for $100,000 in cash and prizes. So, could be worse. Can't be any worse than our picks, though. I've got Tyler here today, who was brave enough to come on after I busted his fucking balls last week. I'm going to give you a pass, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, last week finally learned the actual rules of how this whole contest goes down in terms of betting and not always betting against the spreads for Survivor. It's literally just a Survivor league. So yeah, that's where I think we had a lot of our miscommunication. I'm ready for week 3, man. I think it's going to be a fun one, and we got it started last Thursday with a pretty good game here against Carolina. Really happy with the results there.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a pass. Once I found out you weren't 100% clear on the rules, I backed off my position. And I'm here with CJ, who is somewhere in the great Midwest, traveling to our usual co-hosts, making probably one of the bigger mistakes you can make in life. He's getting married this weekend. What's up, CJ?
What's up, Rob? Yeah, it's funny. You would have thought the Panthers were down 2 touchdowns the way you were talking in our group chat there at halftime.
Why don't we just start with Survivor? So CJ talked us all into getting our picks in early for Survivor this week. Props to CJ. He was so convincing in it. I moved all of my Survivor entries to the Panthers in what can be described as one of the worst high school games I've ever seen. CMC obviously pulling up lame there due to soft as pudding. And but we got through week 3 Survivor in the bag for us, so we don't have to really sweat any games this weekend in terms of Survivor. So nice and easy win there. Props, CJ. What'd you think of that game, Tyler?
I thought it was gross. I just stopped watching it after we got some of those Brandon Cooks late reception props. That final fourth quarter, I just had zero interest in watching. But this is a terrible Houston defense that we're going to be picking on all season long. So I'm not surprised at all seeing Carolina win here with Sam Darnold. What a performance. 2 rushing touchdowns. Who's he trying to be right now?
I mean, did you guys see the meme that DK put out this morning?
No.
Go to DK's Twitter account and look at the Sam Darnold meme. It is absolutely crushing to Jets fans. It's like undefeated start, and then he's got sunglasses on, and it's got like Jets fans in the sunglasses. It's pretty good. So anyway, we're done with Survivor. CJ, good job forcing us to get our shit together early here this week on Survivor, buddy.
Hey, and the best part is now with the Christian McCaffrey and the JC Horn injuries, like we never would want to use Carolina again either. So it's really good that we got them out of the way, got them while they were still half decent at least.
Really worked out well for us. Let's jump into the Westgate contest. I don't even
know. My God, that picture.
It's great.
Death by meme to all of Jets fans. Although I thought Darnold looked like shit, if we're being honest. I personally, he was making poor decisions in the passing game. Yes, he rushed for 2 touchdowns, but I saw some decisions I really wouldn't want my quarterback to make. So maybe he'll clean that up. But the Panthers,
he looked different without the CMC safety blanket there,
Yeah, I was just gonna say Panthers are a lame duck at this point without CMC. So again, we probably won't touch them again this year. All right, let's kick it off with the Westgate. We've got the Panthers, Texans. That's in the bag. Go down here. Cardinals, Jaguars. So I think I made it clear last week. I'm happy to bet against the Jaguars because Urban Meyer is rooting that organization from within. He's treating the players like they're still in college, and I don't see that flying with grown men that are all millionaires. So we got the Cardinals -7, Jags +7. I like the Cardinals this week, along with El Duque and Tyler. Tyler, why you like the Cardinals here?
Urban Meyer's a donk. It's that simple. I think he is way out of his league here. He's trying to bring back all these Ohio State players, including has-beens like Devin Smith, the wide receiver. I think he has like 3 career catches. He does not do a damn thing. He's just bringing back every single Ohio State player he can right now. I think Arizona absolutely destroys the spread here, 7 points right now. I don't mind leaving a full touchdown here. Looking at the completion percentage over expectation and EPA per pass play, Trevor Lawrence is one of the bottom dwelling quarterbacks right now. They are asking him to throw deep, and they're facing a defense that's top 2 in blitz percentage. It's not a winning combination for Lawrence here. So I don't expect this team to do very well. I expect Arizona to put up a ton of points and Jacksonville to just, I don't know, not do much here. So it's Arizona 7 points, easy for me.
I agree. I didn't understand the fancy stats, but I agree. What do you got, CJ?
Yeah, I don't mind this at all. It wasn't one of my top 5, but it would probably have been like, if I hadn't taken the Panthers -8, probably would have made it for me. Yeah, I just Urban Meyer has been at least good about going for it on 4th down really aggressively, and he's been pretty analytical. His teams are just down 3 scores, so unless you're watching, you haven't been paying attention. This is more about the backdoor concern. And the Arizona defense really disappointed and let me down last week. I thought I saw really good signs week 1, and week 2 was really just terrible. But yeah, I can't argue taking the Cardinals here. I'd be perfectly happy to lay the 7 with them.
Well, you sort of blew or wasted one of your picks here with the Panthers since we didn't get that in. So I'll allow it.
Hey, you know what? I think I'm like -31 points on the season. Getting me a +3 was a positive step for me in the right direction.
Got it. Not much interest in this game outside of Tyler. Colts +5.5, Titans -5. I do like teasing the Colts up 11.5 in this game. But Tyler, what do you got on the Titans here?
Yeah, they looked great last week. I think their offense is really clicking, and Derrick Henry, phenomenal. The question with the Colts is Carson Wentz's status. I saw right before we started recording that he is practicing today as of Friday. So that's something we need to monitor because I believe it was both ankles were injured. Mobility being a concern there is definitely a reason to not be extremely bullish on the Colts being able to cover this. I just think this Titans offense is set up to go really well here against this Colts team that has multiple injuries along the offensive line, defense. They're just banged up. I think the Tennessee Titans cover here, playing at home. I like the 5.5 spread here.
Got it. Seige, any opinion on this one?
If Carson Wentz plays, I just don't really trust the Titans defense enough yet. Like, they really should be 0-2. Seattle really just handed them a game away. Their defense is just so bad. I know that Carson Wentz is playing on injured legs, but I think we can find 5 better games than taking the Titans in the middle of the dead zone.
Got it. I'm going to give you one of those better games that I'm the only person that is on. Ravens -8 at Lions. So listen, I don't want to lay over a touchdown in most scenarios. I'm only a 1 confidence on this play, so I'm not super high on it, but it is hard for me to believe that the Ravens don't go in there and demolish by 2 scores. Tyler?
I'm not against it. I was really close to making this my 5th final selection here, just because this Lions defense, we saw them on Monday Night Football, the Packers Lions game. Both those defenses are just garbage. I expect a lot of points by the Ravens here, but I think getting Marquise Brown back in practice today was huge for the Baltimore's outlook for this upcoming week. So I kind of get it. I'm teetering on this one. I'm not totally sold. 8 points is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. What do you think, Seige?
Yeah, it's like Tyler, I'm not against the play. I feel like the Lions lose by 7 here a lot, right? They've been scoring a lot of points even when they've been losing. And I just don't know if the Ravens are an offense I have a lot of faith to just go put up 35, 38 points and win by 2 scores. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not like desperate to play them either.
Fair. And I'm not fighting to play it either, but I do like fading the Lions if we can. Washington football team at Bills. No one wants a piece of this game. This is sort of, just a stay away for me. It looks like it's a stay away for all of us. So let's just drop down. Saints at Patriots, another stay away for us. No one has an opinion on this game. I feel like those last 2 games right there are pretty much coin flip situations for me, where I wouldn't be surprised if on either outcome. So in these contests, I would just assume avoid being in those situations. We do have two strong opinions on the Chargers Chiefs. I'm surprised I don't have a play on this game. Actually, I could really easily be talked into one probably. Chiefs less than a touchdown favorite at home, -6.5. CJ, this is your highest play. Why don't you tell us why you like it?
Yeah. So the lines moved to 7 just about everywhere. So we're getting it's a half point, but it's a key half point we're getting here. The 6.5 versus the 7. And honestly, the Chargers are really overrated. I was really disappointed with what they did in week 2 against the Dallas Cowboys. And it made me go back and look at that week 1 performance, and they barely squeaked by the Washington football team, who was playing with a backup quarterback and Taylor Hinkie. They didn't really go out and dominate that team the way you would expect they should. Chiefs are going to put up a ton of points here. Again, new offensive system. Herbert's been okay, but he hasn't shown the efficiency I would expect for him to hang with Mahomes. This game's in Arrowhead, full capacity crowd, and we're laying less than 7. I think the Chiefs win this by 10. Coming off a loss, I like this spot a lot.
Yeah, it's also Duke's favorite play. I called him the soccer guy last week. He was highly offended to the point that he ran the math on all of our picks that he is actually the most accurate so far. He's still -8, so it's not like he's fucking killing it or anything. Tyler, what do you think of this game?
I think it could go back and forth. That's my one concern here. And we've seen these games. I think they've historically been pretty close between Chiefs and Chargers. I like what I've seen from Herbert so far. Like, he did not have the best game against Dallas this past week, but 2 touchdowns were called back. Like, I think that outcome could have been far better. And the Chiefs, I don't know. I'm really stuck on this one. I think 6.5 is a great number. No argument there. And that's probably the best selling point, is just the number itself. Because I think this one could go either way. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers covered 7 and this was a game that came down to the final possession.
Got it. All right. We'll have to duke this one out a little bit. Next game, Falcons Giants. This is all kinds of fucking ugly, which I shouldn't be surprised that CJ's got a 1 confidence on the Falcons here. I am not ready to put anything on the Falcons yet. CJ, what are you thinking here?
The Giants suck. The Giants are really, really bad at football. And it correlates to a lot of my picks. If I think the Giants are just really terrible at football, then I don't have much confidence in the Washington football team, which means I don't have much faith in it. It kind of just correlates off of I think the Giants are really, really bad here. I think the Falcons are the better team. Like, they're better at every single position, on both sides of the football. They're just the better team, and we're giving 3. I don't know why we shouldn't be giving anything. And we're getting 3 points. Sign me up. Like, they're the better football team, and New York is not a crazy place to play. Kyle Pitts is going to have a field day in this matchup. Yeah, we need the Falcons to tackle at some point, but they're going to tackle at some point. I just think they're the better team, and they're 8-1 in places to make the playoffs, and I think this is kind of where the Falcons make their push. They got a nice soft part of the schedule coming.
Let me give you my hot take. I don't think Danny Dimes is a bad quarterback. I think he's looked okay, and I think he's got a few weapons around him. And if Barkley can move the football, he's not hurt, right?
No.
Yeah. If Barkley can move the football, I think the Giants can attack this defense, because, again, I'm not a Danny Dimes truther, but I don't think he's looked that bad. Tyler, what do you make of this game?
I agree with you. I think Danny Dimes has the ability to play some terrific football. It's just not on a consistent level. But against Atlanta, I mean, we saw Jalen Hurts dial up. Like, I think he led the league in adjusted completion rate that week 1. Tom Brady, 5 touchdowns against his unit last week. I think this Falcons defense is really going to have a tough time trying to keep them in this game. Arthur Smith, I think he's not long for the head coach position here. I have not trusted his play calling at all. A lot of runs and suboptimal decision-making in that week 1 outing. Week 2, I wasn't overly impressed either. I don't understand all this Cordero Patterson usage. I just see
Mike
the
Davis
Giants
sucks. Mike Davis sucks. That's the Patterson usage.
They both suck.
That's a good decision. Patterson's awful. I mean, Mike Davis is awful. Like, I was very disappointed in Arthur Smith week 1, and I was disappointed in the first quarter, but he adjusted. Second, third, and fourth quarters, I thought he was really good, and that was a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. If the Falcons lose by 3 at Tampa, what's this number? Falcons -2.5? We're getting basically a full touchdown because Matt Ryan threw 2 pick sixes against the Tampa Bay secondary when their defense was pinned at the ears. The Giants secondary is not that good. This is a lot of value here. I mean, that's fine if you guys don't want to play it. I really like this spot, though. Not as good as another dog that I know I'll get no bites on, but we always take these favorites, and the Falcons are one of the more live dogs this week.
All right. One confidence. So
yeah, you're going after this hard with a one confidence. I gotta put a little resistance here.
I mean, my 3 confidence won by like 17 points. So hey, I just my other games. Sorry, I had other winners ahead of it.
So this is a game that I love. Get as a teaser piece is Browns Bears. I'm bringing the Brownies down to 1, but Browns are -7. This is a 3 confidence for me on the Browns. I'm an Ohio State guy. I think Fields is a fucking really good quarterback, but I've also seen rookies starting their first game. Like, I've seen how this plays out, and the Browns, if they're anything like people think they are, or like people have built them up to come into the season 3 years in a row, I think a lot of this pivots on, is Beckham going to be okay? Is he going to perform? But I see no world where Chubb doesn't put up 105 yards here and handily beat the Bears in a turnover heavy game by Justin Fields. Tyler, what do you got?
I agree with you. I think this is going to be a fun game in terms of watching Justin Fields, and anybody that lives in Ohio is going to love this game. But I like the Browns -7 here. I was teetering on that play as well. So I'm with you here. I imagine we see Chubb just run right at Khalil Mack and just 100 plus. I'm totally on board with you there. I think I already hit the Nick Chubb prop at like 77 or 78
yards. Yeah, I hit it
yards.
at 71 earlier.
Oh, wow. Very good. Yeah. I think the Browns just run all over this team. I think the reason why it hasn't moved at all is because of people are a little bit afraid of the unknown with Fields. And that's why there's the ability for them to cover here. I don't see it. I agree with you there. I think that pass rush is going to force them into some suboptimal decisions, a lot of rushes. I think Fields will be one of those guys that we can pencil in for 50 to 60 rushing yards every single week. But I'm not excited to play him here on the road in his first game. So I'm going to go with Browns -7. I kind of agree with you here.
Awesome. Thanks. CJ, what do you think?
As someone who thinks that Justin Fields isn't ready and a walking turnover machine and will have tons of Browns DST and DFS this week, I am not going to make the case that Justin Fields keeps this close within 7. It kind of felt like 7 was the right number, the back door to 7. But if you wanted to play the Browns -7, I wouldn't argue with you. It's just the Browns. That would be like my biggest argument, but it's not really an argument. I need Fields to turn over the ball a lot this week for my own wallet. So I'm on board with this if this is where we wanted to go.
I like the Browns. Hold on. I'm texting Jeff Mans. Put your
Jeff Mans is going to be like, Bears.
I don't think so. I have not found a Bears fan yet that is they're high on Justin Fields for obvious reasons, but I haven't found a confident Bears fan yet this season. So I don't know. He just said, fuck my life. All right. So here we go. You know what, guys? I've been really good about staying off the Steelers this year to my own peril. We should have been betting the Steelers. Bengals.
You should have talked us off the Steelers last week is what you should have done.
Bengals, Steelers. That was the one. All right. I'm talking my own fandom here. You're right. Bengals, Steelers. I can't lobby one side of this game or the other. Look, I mean, as a Steelers fan, did I have a giant heart on when I saw the Harris stiff arm? Fuck yeah, I did. Clearly Steelers are the more talented team top to bottom, in my opinion. Our defense is just fucking nasty. But our offensive line is world-class terrible. And if we have to throw 3-yard outs to Juju and Claypool, I think Deontay's out this week. No?
Trending that way. Yep.
Yeah. So no Deontay here with no real deep threat. I'm concerned. So I'm just going to stay away from this game, Tyler.
I totally agree with you. It's not one that I want to attack either. There's injuries on both sides here that are kind of pivotal too in terms of the passing weapons, Deontay, T. Higgins. I'm just kind of avoiding this one. I think it could go either way. And a blowout also wouldn't surprise either. Like, there's so many different outcomes for this, different paths. I think it's one to just avoid when there's a full slate of games here.
I agree.
No bye weeks. We don't need to worry about that yet.
What do you think, Siege?
Yeah, the only side you could talk me into is the Bengals, but you would really have to talk me into it. I don't think with Big Ben's injuries you could talk me into the Steelers, but I think we got better options than playing either side here.
All right, let's move down. Fins at Raiders. Tyler likes the Raiders for a 2, laying 4. Why do you like the Raiders here, Tyler?
We've seen Derek Carr light up secondaries his last 6 games where he's been healthy. I believe he has 370 plus passing yards, 2 plus passing touchdowns in each game. This last game, these two teams played each other. I think it was week 16, the end of last year. And it was like a 25-26 game. That was with Tua. Don't envision Jacoby Brissett making this a challenging outing here. Dolphins on the road. I don't know. Like they're not looking great right here. I'm into the Raiders. It feels weird to say, but -4 points. I'm in here.
You know, I don't think I disagree with you here. CJ, what do you think?
Why is this number only 4? It's Jacoby Brissett on the road, and we're only laying 4. I feel like we're just walking into the trap.
What's the trap? What's the reason?
Vegas has built those very big casinos, and everyone is going to be betting Vegas -4 there. Do we really want to be on like the most public play of all time?
I don't know. None of that scares me too much, but I think there's probably a couple better spots for us. So let's move down. One I agree with CJ on. One Duke agrees with CJ on. This is the one he thought he was going to get no love on. Jets, Broncos -10. I like it for a 2. CJ likes it for a 2. Duke likes it for a 3. Confidence. CJ, I'll let you go here on this game.
This is the epitome of an 0-2 team that has faced a very tough schedule, facing a 2-0 team that has faced a very easy schedule, and the line just being way too high here. The Jets have faced 2 really good pass secondaries in the Panthers and the Patriots, and Zach Wilson's looked like a rookie against a top-level defense. There's nothing really new there. And then the Denver Broncos have gotten 2 cupcake matchups in the Giants and the Jaguars, and Teddy Bridgewater's looked good. Teddy Bridgewater's led the league in attempts over 20 yards. That is not going to hold over 17 games. Shermer is a bad offensive coordinator. As soon as a game gets close, he's going to pucker. He's going to hide in his corner and try to run the ball. And for the Jets, they've been willing to throw it out. Like, Zach Wilson was able to throw 4 interceptions because they kept throwing. And you can throw on this defensive Broncos secondary. No Bradley Chubb this week. I think that there's I think there's definitely some value here in the Jets +10.
We should note that we've actually lost value on the line. Jets are 10.5 dogs now as they sit.
I'm betting the Jets money line this week too. I think the Jets win this game straight up. This is one of the reasons why I very much wanted the Panthers. I did not want to do the Broncos in Survivor.
Oh, I hope you're right. Because Survivor, the Broncos are the pick. I mean, everyone's going to be on the Broncos this week. So I pray you're right in this case, CJ. Tyler, what do you think of this game?
I'm a little scared of it. I don't agree with Siege in that the Broncos defense is terrible. I mean, they are loaded at cornerback position. Von Miller looks like vintage Von Miller.
Terrible. I just said they're average. Like they're average. They're not like Panthers or Pats good.
You said terrible.
I think they can hold a rookie head coach and rookie quarterback combination. I'm not excited about this line, but I'm fine being outvoted here because my picks haven't been on fire this year so far.
Well, join the fucking club. It looks like Jeff Mance has entered the room. So let's see what Jeff pops in as we're on air. Everyone's pretty much staying away from this next one, and I think for good reason, except for our soccer expert, Duke. Bucks -1.5 Rams. So this is a very interesting matchup. I can't imagine betting it, though. Both of these teams have performed very well. This is, I don't know, probably a pick 'em game. But I don't really want to touch either side here, Tyler.
I agree with you. I think the only bet here is over on the 55.5. I'm probably just going to avoid either side. It looks like Tom Brady is trying to break this new passing touchdown record. I think that's what he's going to try to do with this extra game they're allowed to play now in this 2021 season. And Rams defense, they're great. Bucks defense, they're great. I just think this is going to be a shootout here, and it could really come down to the last possession. And I'm not making wagers on that.
Yeah, same. Siege, anything?
This is a fantastic Rams plus 7.5 teaser spot, but that's really about it.
All right. Seahawks Vikes. Tyler likes the Seahawks laying 1.5 to Minnesota. My problem, it's been this way for a little while now, is I don't know how to read the Vikings. And, I just haven't been able to read this team. Are they good? Aren't they good? Is Dalvin Cook is Cousins good? I just don't know what to do with the Vikings, and I haven't for some time. So I've generally avoided these spots. So, Tyler, what do you got here on the Seahawks?
Cousins has his spots where he's like great against certain defensive coverages. Not really this ideal one here in this Seahawks matchup. Dalvin Cook being banged up. I'm not sure even if he plays this week. That's going to be probably a game time decision if we don't get that information sooner. Seattle, I like what we saw last week. Like the first 2 games, Russell Wilson has been like uber efficient in terms of his passing, and I expect him to dissect this Viking secondary that looks like it's been held together by glue and masking tape, because these are just free agents that don't really belong in terms of this defensive scheme. I really like this Wilson and the Seattle passing attack here, which is why I'm so bullish on them as a road favorite here.
CJ.
Jeff Mans has hopped in with 5 confidence on Seattle. So getting some love there as
Nice.
well from one Jeff Mans. Yeah, I'm not a Vikings fan. I always think they're overrated. They were super efficient last year, and I knew that efficiency wouldn't translate year to year. Couple fluke long plays last week. I'm trying not to let that influence my opinion. I think Seattle's the play if we wanted to play a side here. I just don't. I'm always going to be low on the Vikings. I think they're vastly overrated.
All right. Next game with some interest. I actually like it in, I took it in Circa, but not in Westgate, just because of the lines and other games were more appealing to me. But Packers at Niners, Packers getting 3.5. Duke Tyler like it at Westgate. Wow. Jeff Mans is huge on it in Westgate or in Circa. So Packers plus 3.5 at Niners. Here's my take on the Packers. Everyone watched a very public ass kicking, and I don't think anyone's recovered from that yet. I have. I think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers and is very fucking capable. And so, look, I am much higher on the Packers here. I hate to say it, I make the Packers -2 in this game. So I am happy to take the 3.5. I might just talk myself into Westgate too. Tyler, what do you think of this game?
Absolutely, man. This is a game that I've been, I bet the Packers +4, I think multiple times already. So to see it at 3.5, I'm still in here. Like this 49ers defense, they got absolutely stomped by Jalen Hurts last week. And week 1, we saw Jared Goff put up a huge outing against this defense too. Granted, a lot of that was in some garbage time. But the point is, this 49ers defense is banged up. Their defensive line is super injured. Their cornerbacks are trash. They're starting a 5th-round rookie and the ghost of Josh Norman. Like, this team cannot hang with the Packers. I expect Devontae Adams to clear 100+ yards. Aaron Rodgers, he's going back to his home field. Was he Bakersfield, California? He's going back to his hometown stomping grounds. I think last time he played against them, he had 300+ passing yards, 4+ passing touchdowns. Absolutely thrashed this 49ers defense. And yeah, you're right. Like, we are coming off a recency bias of a Monday Night Football, a national game, seeing Aaron Rodgers, but we needed that after week 1's performance against the Saints. Rodgers is back, and I'm in. I am totally in on this Packers offense, and just I'm amazed we're getting plus points here. So I think it's a fantastic spot for Green Bay. And this 49ers offense down multiple running backs. Elijah Mitchell is still not practicing with that shoulder injury he sustained. JaMychal Hasty not practicing with the ankle injury. Trey Sermon, I believe, is still in concussion protocol. I think he's practicing, but wearing like the red jersey, so I don't know what that means. They're probably going to be starting Lamar Miller or random ass backs that have no warrant being on a football field. I like the Packers here a lot.
CJ?
Yeah, so Trey Sermon's expected to play and start, just for the record. I don't think anyone's realized that, and it's going to be a nice DFS leverage play for me. But my issue really isn't with the 49ers defense. It's with their offense. Jimmy G has been really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Against the Eagles last week, it was just pathetic. And I think they're going to need Jimmy G here against this Packers defense. Like there's one side of the field you can't throw to, and They put if they put Jair Alexander on Deebo Samuel, what the hell is Jimmy G gonna do? To me, I think it's more about the San Francisco offense. As long as Jimmy G's playing and they don't do something crazy like play Trey Lance, which is probably what they should do in this matchup. Yeah, I'm more worried about the 49ers offense. You could definitely talk me on the Packers plus 3.5. I don't think the 49ers offense can put up the points to hang here.
I think we roll Pack. I'll recap Jeff Mann's picks if people are probably interested after we wrap up here. Eagles at Cowboys, last game on the slate for us. CJ and I are oppo on this game. I like the Eagles +4. He likes the Cowboys -4. CJ, make your case.
The Eagles offense is not that good. Just because they played Atlanta week 1 and we're anchoring off of that performance, they were pitiful last week against the 49ers. They should have won that game, and they were not able to. Cowboys just had one of those games that went against them. They had a ton of holding calls, kind of random stuff, but they're playing Tony Pollard more, and getting him into space against these Eagles linebackers makes a lot of sense. They've got the tight ends to cover against those linebackers. The Philly linebackers are going to get exposed here. At home, full capacity crowds, Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, I cannot be betting against the Cowboys here. I think they win this by 7. I just don't think the Eagles offense is what people think it is.
I think they are, and I think Hurts is very talented. And look, I look for a really close game. I have been unimpressed with the Cowboys thus far. They look kind of lost to me. I mean, clearly, CD looks really good. Dak's been okay. They have no semblance of a run game. I don't understand why they're rolling Zeke onto the field at this point. It should be all Pollard. But look, I think I like the Eagles to cover 4. I could see this being a 3-point game. So I like to get the points here. Tyler, do you have an opinion on this game?
Go ahead, Seige.
I think we're just forgetting how good they looked in week 1 against the Bucs. The Cowboys should have won that game. And that week 2 game against the Chargers, they won the game. Like, they did win that game. It got ugly for sure in the second half, but they won. Dak was super efficient, 23 of 27. It was just one of those random games where the holding calls kept happening. But that crew is known for holding calls. And I just wouldn't overreact to that game. It looked weird. It looked bad, but they won the game against a pretty good Chargers team. So I just think, again, that we're just really underestimating the Cowboys. If the Cowboys were 2-0, we'd be laying 7 or 8 here. And that's what I kind of think the number should be. I think we're getting value because Tom Brady happened to do what Tom Brady does and lead them to a game-winning field goal with 40 seconds to go.
Should note Philly's +3.5 now at DK and +3 at FanDuel. Go ahead, Tyler.
This is a tough one. It's another game where I think it could be a final outcome or final possession outcome where whoever has the ball last wins. I like what you said there, Rob, in terms of what Jalen Hurts brings to the table. Like week 1, he was bottom dwelling in terms of average depth of throw. He threw very close to the line of scrimmage, very high percentage throws. Week 2, they expanded it. He led the league in average depth of throw. Week 3, I'm thinking they find the happy middle here, and he actually thrives. And we see that rushing upside combined with the passing upside, and they take over against this Dallas defense. I don't think this defense is very good. There's a lot of issues there. The linebacker group is pretty good, but they have no pass rush. And I think Trayvon Diggs is a solid corner. He can probably slow down Devonta Smith, but that's not a reason to stay away from the Philadelphia Eagles here. I think this is a really close game here. I agree with Seige in terms of the Dallas offense, in terms of everything we've seen from them, though. Like they look great whenever things are clicking. It's just the holding penalties really kind of held them back. And with Amari Cooper probably being shadowed by Darius Slay, I expect CeeDee Lamb to go absolutely off here. He can put up a ton of production. But in terms of the spread, I'm stuck here. This is why it was a stay away for me, because I think these NFC East games are really weird sometimes and just have fluky outcomes. I'm staying away. And seeing you guys on different sides of the spread doesn't surprise me, because I think there's all kinds of different paths for this to play out.
Yeah, I think you probably made the case to stay away from this game, considering no one else likes either side except for CJ and myself. Let me recap Jeff Mann's picks real quick. So he's on the Cardinals with 4 of us. So we probably locked Cardinals in somewhere. He's on Titans with Tyler. Tyler, I thought, made a good case for the Titans. I assume Jeff's seeing the same kind of things that you are here. He actually ended up opposite CJ, likes the Giants in this game. Both won confidences though, so probably a scratch game for us. Seahawks is his 5 confidence play, which I think Tyler again talked to me on there, and Jeff likes the pack as well, which I think we all sort of came to consensus on, pack being a good play. So I don't know. What are our 5? Cardinals, Titans, Seahawks, Packers. That's where the most consensus is.
We have more consensus on the Chiefs than we do the Titans, don't we?
Well, Chiefs would be the 5th. That was only 4.
God, we really have to play the Titans. Ugh. I would like to fight. I would like to fight against the Titans. We can't do the Browns. We can't do the Raiders.
The Browns.
We can't do the Jets. I would much rather do like just about anything else other than the Titans if I had my druthers.
I don't know where else we go.
Jets.
Yeah, we do have pretty solid consensus on the Jets. So we'll mix the Jets in. We'll mix the Chiefs in. I think we'll mix Titans into one team at least. Maybe not Westgate, but mix them into we have 3 at Circa, so mix them into a Circa team.
Yeah, throw them in the Circa where we're laying the extra hook on the Cardinals makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that's where we end up. About 7 teams there that will spread around this week. And if history repeats itself, next week we'll still be competing for last place. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining, boys.
We took some underdogs this week, Rob. We took some underdogs. Also, too, we'll post these on Saturday on Elite Sports Betting under the Circa contest page. So if you guys want to know where we ended up, it's available for Elite Sports Better subscribers.
Yeah, if you're looking for some fades, sign up, get in there. Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy the games.